Welcome back. This is part 4, no, part 2 of Let's Play Nier Automata. Where are you, Nier? There you are. That's adorable. For some reason, the screen locks. This is your first time visiting the bunker, and you can't actually interact with anything. So I tried to interact with save and Nier's room, but you can't. So.
作戦は成功でしたね。敵大型兵器は破壊され、敵支配地域への侵入経路が確保されました。今後の
9S
はい。
ありがとう。最後に私たちの
So what she's referencing there is when they use the black boxes, they explode, they self-destruct, they destroy themselves in exchange for a burst of massive power that destroys a lot of things in the vicinity. But what 9S did was he backed up 2B's memories and his own memories. So the 9S and 2B that you see here are actually different models than the original two. I mean, they're the same, but it's not the exact same body that they're in. But their memories and everything are still intact, thanks to 9S's quick thinking. Which I think is neat. It's cool because it's like the memories make them human almost, but the technology makes them machines. And this whole game is about the interplay of that. This is interesting. There's online functionality. I think it actually, the only time I ever saw this come in handy is in the very end of the game. And it's like literally the credits, which I won't spoil it until we get there, but that online functionality does come in handy during the credit sequence.
外宇宙から飛来したエイリアンによる侵略、異星人たちの繰り出す兵器、機械生命体によって人類文明が壊滅。生き延びたわずかな者たちは月に逃げ延びることになった。西暦5204年、衛星軌道上に敷設された基地群より I
didn't know he was going to talk this long. I was waiting for him to finish talking because some good backstory here. So it basically explains what's going on. We're trying to take back Earth for the humans. Those guys on the right or in the back with the helmets on, they look kind of like the Magitech soldiers from Final Fantasy 15, which I go into that a little bit, but this game definitely has some similarities to Final Fantasy 15. I do like the loading screen. I haven't mentioned it yet, but it's like an internal system check, which I think is kind of cool. It's a different take on, just a circle in the bottom left corner or bottom right corner, circling until the next screen comes up. This is really cool. So the way they have you do your settings, the reason why I didn't do settings at the beginning of the game is because you do them in this part of the game. So when the screen was dark for a second, that's because I wasn't pressing anything. You actually have to press right to get the brightness up to an acceptable standard. And even this isn't good enough, I guess, for the tutorial. And, yeah, here we go. So you raise the brightness, then you can toy around with it if you want it darker. I do turn it up a bit to make sure everything comes out clearly. But I just think this is a really cool way to do settings and make it interactive. Of course, you can change this at any point, but it's cool to know like the first time. And listen closely, I'll be quiet here. Like he's actually taking 2B through setup again, and I think it's a nice touch. And you spend 30 plus hours with these characters, and a lot of times games don't take the time to really make you care about them. But already I'm like, oh wow, the 9S actually cares about us as a character, and it's neat. So self-destruct permissions, that's what we used before. I tried to set them to off to see if it would work, but you have to turn them back on. I don't know if you can turn them off at a later time in the game, but yeah, you have to have them on. I'll show them off eventually. I don't show them off in like the first 3 parts, but at some point I'll show them off. And then the rest of the stuff, camera, I use regular camera. I don't invert my camera controls because I never played, that's the thing, I never played like shooter game or flying simulators as a kid, so I never needed to switch the cameras. Here, what I'll say, you can change how 9S fights, so keep that in mind. I probably won't change it all that much. He's pretty useful, just playing pretty balanced. I don't think he can heal you. He can, do close up and long range. I don't know that he'll use items on you though. I don't think he's done that for me, but he might have. I might not even notice. We'll see an item in the next part that completely eradicates the need for healing half the time. So. Yeah, this part's going to be a lot of talking, at least for like the first 10 or so minutes, because it's getting your bearings in the bunker, so I don't have much to say on it. Just feel free to kick back and enjoy. So in the background, while I'm recording this, there's football on TV, and I don't know how familiar you are with the NBA, but they're adding jersey ads on the uniforms this year, and the Charlotte Hornets, because they're owned by Michael Jordan, are going to have the Jumpman instead of the Nike. Yeah, she's spinning. They're going to have the Jumpman instead of the Nike uniform. And North Carolina, where Jordan went to school, they also rock the Jordan uniform, whereas Louisville, who they're playing against, wears Adidas. That's kind of cool. But yeah, that little shop, every room, dorm, I guess you could say, has a shop. I buy some small recoveries here, and I actually buy some heads-up display skill chips, which I'll show off the skill system, I think, either right after this. I know I do it a little bit later, so I'll have some more time to talk about it. I bought these, and I didn't realize when I was buying them the number. Like, I know that what that means, but I was thinking, oh, I'll just buy them anyway. And then I was like, oh, wait, I have these equipped already. Because there are some heads-up display chips you can get that, like, you would think are common knowledge. Like the experience gauge. I think that's what I was probably thinking of. That's one that doesn't come, most games come equipped with them, like Pokemon. You can see how much experience it is, at least after Gen 1, how much experience you need. But this game, you have to equip that. And I don't bother because there's really no reason to see. So, in your skills menu, you can equip pod programs, which once we get more of them, I'll explain those. And then you can equip chips. If you ever played Mega Man Battle Network games, it's kind of like that. You have storage in the upper right-hand corner, and you have like sets of units. Each chip has a number assigned to it, and that's how many units it takes. You can have chips that do the same thing that take more or less units. So, for example, you could have a chip, for example, that says raise HP by 10%, and one version of the chip could take 2 units, hypothetically, and one could take 1 unit. So obviously you want to equip the one that takes 1 unit, which I think is cool because as you go through the game, you can get better chips that cost less. And that way you can that's how you basically can break the game, because you can become so strong and still have a lot of different options. I'll go into it more, obviously, when we get more chips. Early in the game, there's not really much to equip, but like I said, part 3 introduces one type of chip that is really, really useful. And the one that we get isn't even the one that's like the best, or one of my favorite ones, I should say. That's what save points look like. You can see the transport option is grayed out. That's because we haven't unlocked it yet. We don't have anywhere to teleport to, but we can teleport throughout the world map to some of them that look like those. The big black ones allow you to teleport. Yeah, I was kind of trying to determine whether or not I should walk through the bunker and make it look cool, or if I should just like run around like an idiot, and that's why I ended up like stutter stopping. Also, good news, I pulled out my other laptop. So right now I'm watching the video on the laptop that I don't record on. So it's just playing the video back, and it hasn't paused or anything yet. And then I'm recording my voice on a separate laptop. So hopefully I don't have any audio issues. I did manage to cut out some of the dead air audio from the last part to make it easier to sync up, and I think it turned out decently well. But this time around it should be pretty much perfect, because the video shouldn't stop. If it does, then I have to figure out why that's happening to begin with. But there are NPCs you can talk to, like any good RPG. Some of them have interesting stuff to say, but not too many of them. They're more about world building, generally.
あまり無茶をするなよ。
はい。
メンテナンス明けで悪いが任務がある。地上にいるレジスタンスたちと合流し、情報収集をしてくれ。あれ、レジスタンスとの連絡役には別のヨルハ部隊員がアサインされていたんじゃ。専任の担当者とは連絡が取れていない。その原因究明も兼ねて現地調査を頼みたい。
了解しました。
Alright, so we get our first mission. We have to go down to Earth, which we were just on Earth for the first part of this, but basically after every mission you kind of end up checking in, or they at least like you to check in with the bunker. And later in the game we can just go here of our own volition. There's not really too much to do. People do give out side quests throughout the game here, but it's not really necessary to always run back unless you want to do those side quests.
この先が格納庫ですね。行きましょう。
Good news in the time that since I've recorded Fire Red, or at least started it, I'm feeling a lot better, so there'll be fewer sniffles, fewer coughs throughout the audio, though I tried to cut those out anyway, but I shouldn't sound as nasally as before, so that's good. You can kind of hear them talking in the background, which is weird because I don't think there's an option to turn that up, because their dialogue just gets that dot sound, that sound. So I don't think that dialogue necessarily corresponds to what they're saying, but it's there if you listen closely, so kind of cool. Here we are back, when we fly back to Earth. A lot of the travel sections actually end up looking like this. If you have a big area to cover, you end up flying through it and getting to fight. So I think it's neat because it keeps you fresh. They pepper these throughout the game, so it's not like they're every time you turn around, but they're there and it's fun enough. I do try to. Oh, that's what I want to point out. So you'll see two different types of orbs that flying enemies will shoot. I'll try to point them out again once they're on the screen. You have the more solid purple, dark purple ones, and then you have the ones that are purple with the blue, looks like electricity in them. The ones that are purple with the electricity, you can break those with your either physical attacks or more likely your laser attacks. The ones that are solid you can't destroy, so you have to avoid those, but it's helpful when an enemy starts shooting them. You can know where to focus and where to dodge, because like I said, you can't dodge the purple ones, or you can dodge them but you can't run through the purple ones. That you can shoot the purple and blue ones to avoid them. What I'm using there is my melee attack. By using square you can do a melee attack. It's okay, it's kind of useful. It's similar to the dodge button, the sidestep ability on foot. You have one of those in the ship as well, and I don't think it really leads to any combo attacks like on foot, but it's useful. You get a little slowdown effect. You see a little orb come around the ship itself, which I should say these are flight units, so they're not actually ships. You'll see when we land, your soldiers, they just hop into them like they're standing in them, and they envelop them. So you can see right here, they just kind of jump out. It's not like they're full-on ships where they're sitting down, which I think that's pretty cool. I'm not big into sci-fi, so I'm sure somebody has done that before, but I go into this room just because I did that when I record this for the What I'm Playing video. I always like that area because it looks like one of Tommy Vercetti's safe houses in GTA Vice City. And here we are, Earth, the main hub world, city ruins in particular, which sounds like a Sonic zone, actually. Alright, so here this is kind of funny. I wanted to stand on the ledge, but then I fall off, and then that shows up, so I couldn't correct myself. I wasn't sure if my double jump activated, so I just kind of glide down. If you want to see what's in that building, go watch my first episode of What I'm Playing. I spent like the whole episode just exploring that building. It was so stupid, it was so pointless, but I thought something would be in it, so I just keep running around it, and nothing happened. So it's just a big empty building. There's a couple robots in there, but spectacular. As far as jumping off of tall items, Nier 2B will take fall damage, but only if you free fall. So what happens is she'll jump off something high and then she'll go into like this parachute. What am I showing here? Oh, the weapon select. We'll see more of that when I actually get more weapons. I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, she'll go into like a free fall spread eagle pose, and if she lands like that, she will take damage. You can hold onto your pod by, after you press X in midair, she'll grab onto it and it'll gently glide you down. There's no height limit either. You can do that from pretty much any height that I've found, and you won't take damage, so good to keep in mind. As far as weapons, you'll notice we only have Virtuous Contract, I believe, which is the light sword. Virtuous Treaty, I guess we lost it after that first battle when we self-destruct. We are able to go back and pick it up, and I will do that probably in episode 4 before we start the next kind of big mission. But here we're going off to that first mission, which you'll see on the bottom right hand corner as the red and white square diamond shape, which is just past those buildings up ahead. Yeah, so anytime you grab on the pod like that, you won't take any fall damage. I quite like this area. It's neat. It's like they took these burnt out buildings and made them their own little shelter. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool use of space. And this theme is great. It's one of the main themes that plays throughout the game in like safe areas, and I think it's a resistance camp theme actually. Yeah, in my original What I'm Playing episode of this, I talked to pretty much everybody in this whole base. You don't have to, because they're all just going to say go talk to Anna from Overwatch here. You can't tell me that doesn't look like Anna. Like, that's pretty much Anna. What skin is it? Her name's basically Anna too. Anemone. Like the sea things. So at first, it's kind of difficult because this game will... Which skin is this? I guess that's like her main skin, just like different colored ones. Anyway, this game, at first, it can kind of rub you the wrong way because the first missions are really just fetch quests. A lot of missions come off as that, but I think the combat makes up for it because the combat is so enjoyable to me. I don't really care. And you can take missions and there's no like time limit to return them. I mean, some might have a little time limits because of story purposes or something happens in the story that makes that mission inaccessible, but generally speaking, you can start a mission and then if you have to get a certain number of parts or something, you can do it and get other missions and then just accumulate all those parts and then run and take all the parts back as you meet the side quests again. So it's kind of cool. As far as how we're going to tackle side quests in this game, so my goal is to 100% the game in terms of endings, which really isn't 100% at all. It's endings A through E, which are the main story endings. That's what I do want to do. Any endings that I come across throughout the game, I'm going to try to get them. The ones that I know about, you can check the first episode. I had like a bunch of endings, but it wasn't all 27. I'm going to try to get them as I come across them. Some of them require really stupid things and they're kind of funny, so I'll show those off. But I won't make it my goal to be like, oh, get endings, F through Z, and I can't get the last ending, 27, because that one is DLC only. So unless I get the DLC, which I might do, I might get it at the end of the LP, I can't get that ending. So like I said, I don't make it my plan to get all the endings, but some of them are kind of funny and some are kind of neat. A lot of them, what happens though is you get the ending and it just takes you to the title screen and it's like, you got that ending. So it's not really required, but they're neat to see nonetheless. And then as far as side quests are concerned, some side quests, I'm not sure which ones give like some of the best stuff. By the time I finished the game, I wasn't really hurting for the best equipment. And a lot of times you can get materials that you use to upgrade your equipment anyway. So I'm not going to prioritize getting every single side quest because that will take a lot of time. But I will get side quests kind of as they show up. So we're talking to Operator 6-0. She's kind of like our main contact. She checks in with us as we go to Earth, and she's really infatuated with Earth. She likes to know about the weather and, you know, what's it like down there. I haven't had the opportunity to go, but I hear so many good things about it, even though it's like this dystopia. So she's kind of fun to listen to and talk to, even though 2B doesn't want any of her crap. And then while we were talking to her, I'm fishing, which I'll show it off again because normally I don't sit in the water, but the icon came up, so I figured I'd show it off. You can fish with your pod. You don't need any other equipment or whatever, and he will find fish. I don't know how many are in this pond per se, but he can find them, and you can like sell them or trade them for stuff. Some people will want them. I think you can even eat them. I know you can eat at least one fish, but it's for another day. And then one other thing, I feel like I'm going through all these administrative tasks right now because it's the start of the game. I don't know how I'm going to handle traveling because, so I mentioned you can teleport or you can transport using the bunker like save systems. You can transport throughout the game, but you can only transport based on how many places you've been. So you can't just like transport somewhere you haven't been. So obviously when you go somewhere you haven't been, I'll show you how to get there and which way I take and whatever. But then after that I'm going to try to just teleport because there's no reason to watch me running unless I want to do, you know, a side mission or something like that. Then I'll, you know, take the route that I will do to get the side mission. I don't find there's too much backtracking. I mean, you do have to go back to the resistance camp a lot, but again, teleporting makes that kind of null and void. So here I did this mission as well in my What I'm Playing video a couple months ago, but you're supposed to collect the things that the weapons dealer wants, the complex gadgets, they're literally called that. And I spent a second trying to find the last one. They're in the little red circle area on the minimap, but for some reason I just kept missing the last one. It's like this one, it's outside the circle, so it's not it, but I wasn't too sure, so I figured I'd check and see. But I do eventually find it. It doesn't take me maybe more than 30 seconds, but this one, it's like if you're not facing the right way, you're gonna miss it. And yeah. Let's see how much. Oh wow, 4 minutes left. Really? Yeah, this is going by a lot better now that the video's not freezing. I don't have to think about that. Yep, there you go, behind the bush. Alright. Okay, and then we're gonna go and finish the supply traders quests. So those red dots, some of them, it's weird. Well, I guess the red dots are save points. I'm trying to think. They have an icon for side missions, and I'm not sure what they are. Once it comes up, I'll point it out. But you'll notice that the pods have two different voices. So ours, which is I think 042, is a dude, and 9S's pod is a girl. Kind of neat. And this is basically how you save the game. I like early in the game it says play the game, you'll figure out how to save as you play or something like that. And so save points, they're all handled like this, where you have to unlock them from the enemies that are trying to take them over. They can't actually take them over, but they're built into these vending machines, which I think is really cool. Cool use of space. Now, a couple things about them. If an enemy is in your vicinity, you can't access the actual save pod, which is also how you check your inbox, your emails, so you can't access that. However, in the upper right hand corner, when you see the saving possible icon, that means you're look at those textures. I'm sorry, that's what I'm pointing out. This is the PS4. It's not the PS4 Pro, but the texture pop-in can be kind of bad. I mean, these are pretty big areas, and like that big building is awful looking right now. Yeah, so I would almost prefer if the whole building phased in as opposed to just having that really low resolution texture. But yeah, so the save points, that's how you check your email. And what was I going to say? Some of them have teleports. I don't even know what I was going to say. But they're good. We'll use them a lot. So I even show them off in the next episode because we have a lot of emails to check throughout that episode. But yeah, this is the map. I will go into a little bit more. You can place icons which stay on, which is what I do, but I was really trying to zoom in, because so when you're in those circular areas, I couldn't remember if the supply trader, you had to kill the enemies to get the items, or if they're just on the ground like the other, like the weapons dealer. So, but yeah, he just needs one of each of those two items, a small gear and broken circuit, and now we have those, and we can go back to give them to him. Over here we have animals, bison, no, moose. Yeah, those are definitely moose. Earlier in the episode at the supply trader, I purchased a satchel, which keeps animals from running away from you, which is good for, I guess, killing them, because they will run away from you if you hit them, or they'll fight back, you know. And then I also have animal bait. If you go to key items, wait, nope, you go to materials, all items, there we go, animal bait. Use that, place it on the ground, looks like a thing of bricks, I mean, I don't know. But see, they come up, and as they approach, they'll get so caught up with eating, you can mount them. You'll see the one with the arrow over his back. Press circle, hop on, and now you can roam the lands moose back, which I probably won't use that very much at all, because having to buy bait and then put it down and then wait for them to eat and then get on them is kind of pointless, especially when Nier can get, yeah, that upskirt. It's, yeah, anyway, it's kind of pointless. They are faster than, I called her Nier again, oh my god. They are faster than 2B, but, I mean, she can jump on buildings and stuff and glide down, so it's a little trade-off. I was trying to pet the moose here, because I thought you could do that. Maybe I'm thinking about Breath of the Wild where you can pet the horse, but, yeah. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Nier Automata. Next time we'll head back, fulfill those supply trader and weapons dealer requests, and see what else lies in store from our good friend Anemone. Have a great day.